Greetings, peace, and blessings. This is your sister, Yatira X, the First Lady of Fire Money Network, here with another daily conversation of self-improvement. And today's topic is, drumroll please, peace and blessings, Sister Felicia, built to conquer. And this topic is so funny how it just came about because last night, going into today and what I was thinking on what will be the topic of discussion, I'm in the midst right now of, morning beloved, of just going through a lot of different things for myself. And again, obviously self-improvement, right? But just making some critical shifts in my life as it pertains to my schedule and my day-to-day activity, and being 100% more productive in every aspect of my life, being more intentional, and just striving to maximize everything that I can maximize. In other words, to conquer, right? And so the title came because my husband has the swan song actually playing in the other room, and then I just heard the minister say that line. And he was talking about us, in terms of being alive. And what does being alive mean? And being alive means that we are going to be faced with problems. If you don't have any problems, 9 out of 10, you're dead. Right? And so, and that's really a 10 out of 10. And so listening to the way that he says it, and then when we just think about things, when we think about how we came into existence, there was a struggle. So I don't think we think about that, the number is not, I don't know which of the number is, but science says that, you're one in a million or 10 billion or whatever the rate or the chance for you to be here is it's so small, but we're here. Meaning from sperm to egg, the fight that there's like a million or however many, just know it's a lot, of sperm going to that egg cell, a whole lot. And the sperm is swimming upstream and in a terrain that's like a war zone for the sperm, right? So it's not an easy swim. It's not just a pond. They're not just, it's a fight. And so this is where life begins for us. This is our journey. And then once the sperm reaches the egg, it's not over. It has just begun, right? Because now that egg has to be attached and secured on the wall of the uterus. So, and then that 9 months of development is still not a simple and easy task. We are growing our brains. We're growing our bones. This is probably a weird analogy, but have you seen Harry Potter before? I was a big Harry Potter fan. Like, read all the books, watched all the movies, was highly pleased with the movies, because they matched the book so well in my mind. Loved them. So now I don't remember which one this is, but somebody had, was it Harry? Somebody had to get some bones regrown. Maybe it was Harry Potter himself. So, he was playing a game and his arm got broke or something like that. And somebody was trying to fix his arm and instead remove the bones. Yeah, that's what happened. So now he's in the hospital and he has to take up a bone growth serum. And, when the nurse gives it to him, she's like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but the point was she told him, like, you're in for a rough night. You're going to be growing back your bones. It's not going to be an easy thing. And so the scene for him was a difficult one. He was hot, he was sweating, and it was very painful is my point. And so that was just a movie depiction of somebody growing a bone, fully grown, and obviously this, whatever. But my point is just that for us now, here we are looking at life from that perspective, and we're growing everything that we need in that span of time. And so I can only imagine, the pain, but we don't have that recollection of it, right? We're not thinking about that pain because it's over and done with and we've gotten past it. But that's not even something that we go back and think about. Like, man, I remember when I was growing in my mother's uterus. No, we don't even remember it. But that happened. And even coming to birth, there's pain involved for the mother, but there's pain involved for the child because the child's head has to formulate and shift and be under pressure, squeezing through the pelvis of mother. My goodness. But we're here and we've made it. We conquered. And so if we match or if we kind of observe that in our day-to-day activities, or as we are coming face to face with the struggles of our life, then we have a higher rate of success because we know these were difficult things. Whether I remember them or not is irrelevant. These are difficult things, and I got through it because I'm here today. And so if I take on this will, this mind to conquer anything that I'm faced with, we will continue to grow and we will be successful. The other part of the conversation that I was reading on today was actually the story of Moses. And this is in the Holy Quran, and I was actually listening to this part. It's amazing. I just opened up the Holy Quran. I didn't intentionally come here, but yesterday I was listening to the minister on YouTube, and there's a lecture called Reparations. What does America and Europe owe? Then the second part is something.
What does Allah promise?
Thank you. What does Allah promise? Part 2. And so we're listening to that, and he is talking about Moses, and he's explaining, Moses and the burning bush. What does this all mean? And I hadn't read it. I don't believe I had read it before myself in the Holy Quran. And so that's what I turned to today. And I was like, oh my gosh, so let me read it and see, what was in it for me. And the first part of it was, history of Moses. Section 3, this is chapter 28, section 3. And when he turned his face towards Midian, he said, maybe my Lord will guide me in the right path. And that just resonated with me because, like I said, every time that I pray, like redeveloping ourselves, right, Sister Felicia, every aspect of this, we're like, every challenge, every problem that we're faced, if we take it on with the right mindset, we will constantly be developing, redeveloping. I like that because it's like we have gotten to a certain point where, we have been developed to a certain degree, but new circumstances and life continues to grow us to where we have to change some of the ways that we think and grow into new ones. Come on now, little one. I told you he belongs here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You heard him trying to talk. Praise be to God. So, but this part, maybe my Lord will guide me in the right path. So as I'm always praying, and I'm just like, please, Allah, it's my sincerest prayer to be an empty vessel. And this is just a side note, because this is how I think that sometimes we are with things, that when somebody is speaking with conviction, we can confuse that with like arrogance. I know I did. That's why I can speak. It's just amazing when we see things a certain way, why we say certain things. So, but anyways, my point is just that I have to sincerely pray for God to use me as an empty vessel. I speak with conviction because I know him, the time that we're in, and the seriousness of the hour that we are in. And for the last few years, I have been kind of like, well, I don't want to say things because I don't want to, offend people, or I don't want, and it's like, we don't have time to worry about political correctness with language and things of that nature. we are in a time where people are going to die because they either are not it's hard to say that people are not aware, but people are not aware of some things. And for those of us who know the truth, whatever truth that we do know, we should be found spreading that, and that's my belief, because that's what Jesus did. He knew the truth and he spoke on the truth. And this is what the minister does. He knows the truth and he speaks on the truth, even though certain people don't want him to and try to discredit him. And so if I say that I'm a follower of his, then I have to be willing to be ridiculed. I have to be willing to be persecuted. I have to be willing to lose friendships, but also in the process of that is gaining friendships and gaining new relationships and being rewarded or being spoken of kindly, because you're going to get the negative side of that too. And so, of course, we talk about the final call. This one, war on the horizon for America. And then Farrakhan warns that swan song signals God's impending judgment of the nations of the world. Again, the swan song, what it means, it was the, these are Savior's Day reflections, is the, in reference to swans, right? The birds of them that before they die, they sing a song, and swans, or they make, they make their call or however, but swans typically live a silent life. And as he was explaining these things, he said, this is not my swan song, because the minister is not getting ready to die. He's getting ready to be reunited with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad on the wheel that's over our head. And that's, again, for different conversations, not necessarily self-improvement, but if God says that it is at a later time, we will go there. But my point is that in the swan song, he said that he was singing our swan song because there's things that we are going to have to do. There's things that we're going to have to change. There's things that we are going to have to accept if we are to survive this judgment. And let me see if what the highlights are. So yesterday was Sunday, and we went over some of the highlights at Mos Maryam. And then this is what he says. He says, "You came to hear me sing a swan song. I hate to disabuse you," the minister said. "I'm singing a swan song because God is on the scene today, and he is the God of righteousness." Page 36. And this wasn't even my intention to read it today, but I'm just going with the spirit, because that's what it's all about. This is 35, not 36. Okay, 36. Continue from page 3. Okay, so this is, I want to see what. Yes, so the minister's address was heard by more than 4,500 people on the mosque grounds in Mos Maryam Sanctuary in Masala, a tent set up on the mosque grounds, and the Muhammad University of Islam Gymnasium. He warned black people to clean up their lives to survive the judgment, but also that war is on the horizon that would bring America to her knees. Wow. The war started by Russian President Vladimir Putin with Ukraine will spill over into Europe, and America will be drawn in, he warned, at times reading from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's monumental book, Fall of America, which you can get that book, store.final call. Come on now, I have gotten to the point where as long as I'm not hurting anyone in pain, I said what I said. Ooh, I needed that, Sister Felicia. I needed that. Let me read that again, because that was for me. Thank you for sharing that. That was for me. She said, I have gotten to the point where as long as I'm not hurting anyone in pain, I said what I said. That's love. Ooh, I really love that. That really resonates with me. Because it's like, listen, I'm saying what I'm saying because, well, number one, it needs to be said. I'm saying it from a place of love. I'm saying it from a place of truth. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's good. Thank you. See? I love this. I love this. We need each other. I needed that. Thank you. America doesn't have a future. This is very significant. Did you think you could kill off millions of Native Americans and do what America continues to do, that Mexicans who once owned much of the West, that she doesn't have to pay for that? The minister asked. If you don't repent, you can't get extra time. The swan song is for you. The 88-year-old national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned that America will send soldiers off to war by the tens of thousands, but they will return by the fives and tens. Once America is drawn in, the U.S. government will come to arrest him as they arrested the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to prevent him from speaking out against World War II. He said, all white power has to end. The kingdom of God has to be established. He said, the life lessons he presented proved him to be a faithful warner with courage to speak the truth and filled with love for his people. And I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to make sure that I finish that article today with the children, because these are significant. Oh, Sister Felicia, come on up on here. I'm sorry, come on up here and join me in this conversation, sis. Love to hear what you got to say while you over there speaking life to me. Come on up in here. There she go. All right, sis, the floor is yours.
Okay. No, my sister, it's because when I feel you, when we're trying to get people to understand where we're going right now in our lives, and people don't, I have come to the point I used to always feel like, let me just make it perfect. Let me make sure they're okay when I say this, not knowing that it's hurting myself, because I really don't want to do that. I want to say how I feel, because how I feel could be powerful to somebody else. So when I hear you talk, I'm like, let me talk for you, sis, because see, you said what you said, and I love what you said, and we got to end it like that. So when I say I feed off of you, I feed off of you, because that was me a year or so ago, hiding behind myself. And when people call me now that I'm out of that walk, girl, I just wish you could talk to me. Girl, I just wish you could pray for me. But when I was trying to do it back then, I ain't got time for that. So now I said what I said, because it's in a good way. So that's it. So I love you. So take me back off. Just let me feel you. So I want you to feel. When I feel you, I mean it. You said what you said. I love you, sis.
I love you so much. Thank you so much, sis. Oh my gosh, family, this is what it's all about. This is the love. This is what we are able to do together. Sister Felicia, you welcome up here every time, anytime, because I love it. I love it. I saw making Brother Jason. Ooh, that just moved me again. Double whammy, because it's one thing to read somebody's words, but it's a whole other thing to feel their spirit and to hear it, to see it too now, with technology. This is just absolutely amazing. Ooh, that got me lit, because now, that was power for me. Like, you just gave me power in saying what you said, in the manner in which you said it. Is like, and the example, see, you just told me about your story and what you did, and how it has you thinking and operating that. Oh my goodness. And I tell you, there's a lot of, I'm still holding back, and I can feel it on different things, on different subjects, not necessarily just with the self-improvement conversations, but things that I want to talk about more. And sometimes I feel that, where it's like, I'm getting ready to do it, and then it's like, no, don't say that. Don't put that out there. What if, and then it's like, dang, dear, when are you going to get past this? So I'm still struggling, I really am, but the struggle is there, because the fight to do it is there. And so some of these things I'm just going to have to just go out there and just do it, and just, like she said, I said what I said. I love it. I really do. And this is in the same thing here, the minister, he speaks from a place of love. And those of us who have taken the time to just listen to him, like, I guess for me, it was easy, because that's how God wanted it to be, that for me, because of what my assignment is in life. I'm still unfolding, unveiling, discovering my full blown assignment. But I know it has to do with speaking life. I know that part. And because I know that there's a level of love that I have for my people, that I've had since a child,
a love for truth and a love for understanding. Those things have just been put into me, right? And so I know that. And with the minister and how he, okay, so what I was going to say about my relationship with him, because I wasn't tainted, America, the media, the Zionist Jews, you know, they didn't have any input on my mind about Minister Farrakhan because I knew absolutely nothing about him. I didn't, in 2000, this is when I heard about the Nation of Islam in 2012. Okay, the same year that I joined, I heard about him that same year. I didn't know anything. The only person I knew about, two names, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. I still didn't know. I don't even think I knew that they were Muslim. I just knew their names. Isn't that something? Wow. So I didn't know anything about the Nation of Islam. I knew about, no, I'm not going to even say I knew about Islam. Obviously, I've heard about Muslims, but that probably came more about 9/11, even though now I know the truth about 9/11, that it was not about Muslims doing a thing. That was this here government that had everything to do with that, and the Zionist Jews who basically set those things up. But they wanted to start this war with Islam because of what Islam means in truth, and to keep us away from it, because this is where we are. We are in this time where people have to submit their will to do the will of God. That's what Islam is. So we're not going to get into that either, but I just wanted to say, when it came to the minister for me, when I first heard him, I didn't have any negative thought in my mind about him to reject what I was hearing. I didn't have to like say, oh, okay, I thought you believed this, or I didn't have to worry about any of that. I just heard a person speaking. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know about the Million Man March. In 2012, how old was I? In 2012, I was 20. I had never heard about the Million Man March. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy. Dang, that's crazy. I was 20 years old, and I didn't know nothing about the Million Man March in 2012. I knew nothing about it. So my point in saying that is, I was blessed to not know about these things, I guess, because when I was able to hear him and hear the truth, I didn't have anything to block me from hearing it. I was actually looking for it. I was just looking for answers. I just needed to know, I was just trying to build my relationship with God. And so because he's willing to stand up and speak truth to power, to speak truth against the falsehoods that we teach, and that's the thing. I think about the things that we say as people, and this is just from personal experience. When I came to my mother and told her about, where I was going with my life and joining the nation and stuff, the automatic response is, I didn't teach you that. That's not how I raised you. And I find that so interesting because I've shared this before too. It's not like we were practicing the faith that we claim in terms of Judaism. And I mean, the Sabbath, all of, the holidays and things like that. We weren't keeping these things. Even for Hanukkah, we weren't properly, we weren't fully celebrating Hanukkah. We just were getting gifts, And so my point is just that that's that natural block. That's that natural defense that comes up because of something that, like, we're supposed to just hold on to, titles. It wasn't your time then, because look at you now. That's right, sis. Praise be to God. That's right. It wasn't. But
I don't want to lose these points because they're so nice. Thank you a lot for leading me in this way. The love of God is the key to the manifestation of who you are. All of you are great. There's not one of you here sala, in the gymnasium, wherever you are in this building, every one of you is great. And God is so beautiful. He shares his greatness with us. That's when the jackass is born. Oh, you didn't get it.
Okay. Am I back? Some kind of way my Bluetooth just connected. You lost me. Okay. That's so crazy. Is it back? I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. I guess it's time for me to wrap it up anyways. So, no sound still? Okay, she said yes. All right, well, yeah, but that's really it. Okay, I just wanted to, this is just self-improvement talk, and I really love the conversation. I really love the dialogue, and I really just, we feed off of people. We feed off of each other. And this is just, it's fun. It's fun for me having people to talk to about my journey, but more so what I'm being fed, and that was just a perfect example. So, Sister Felicia, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for jumping on and saying that because, hey, I said what I said. That's my quote for the day. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for me today. I love y'all, and I look forward to our conversations tomorrow. And I look forward to growing with you all. I can't wait to see what comes from this, where we'll be able to say, remember when we were doing self-improvement on Instagram, and look at us now. Now we have, we've conquered our businesses. Look at where we are with our wealth. Look at where we are with our not just prosperity wealth wise, but just in our communities, among our families, where we're going to be as America falls. And it's not that, when we talk about America, the government, the policies, the systems that is in place. And it's time for us as God's chosen people, us, to take our rightful place back on top. Okay. And we are righteous rulers, meaning that we rule from a place of love and righteousness, not from a place of wickedness and evil and things of that nature. So blessings to you, beloved Sister Felicia, and you all have a wonderful day. This is your sister, Yatira X, the First Lady of Heart Money Network, signing off.